And we'll start this bright Sunday morning. Well, it's light anyway, if not bright. With, as you can see, poor Nottingham City Council, or as the real term is, Nottingham Criminal Cartel, seem to be getting a bit of stick at the moment about all the children they've raped. Abuse victim criticises Nottingham City Council inquiry. Let's see what it's got to say, shall we? D6 told the inquiry he had spent 3 years trying to access his records and only received them shortly before the inquiry started. You mean Nottingham Criminal Cartel have been covering things up and not giving out the information that is? Well, you could have knocked me over with a feather. A man who was abused over a number of years has criticised the authority that was in charge of his care. The man, known as D6, now in his 20s, so it's not that long ago, told an inquiry he was moved around the country but left in the care of Nottingham Criminal Cartel. He criticised the authority after a man who was the subject of multiple allegations of abuse was allowed to foster him and later abuse him. This is the caring Nottingham Criminal Cartel for you. And unfortunately, they're just going to think those at the top, the executive branch, the whole executive branch, needs to be in prison, not resign and walk away and carry on with all their other backhanded dirty deals they've got going. They need to be in prison. They were fully aware of what's been going off. We've been in Nottingham, we've been making enough noise so they know exactly what's been going off, and they've just tried to ignore it and not turn up and ignore, not answer any questions. Oh no, we couldn't find any details. Oh yeah, we managed to find the evidence against the dirty scum that is Nottingham Criminal Cartel. The lead and CEO both need, well, prison, because we haven't got execution for their crimes yet, but that would be justified. It really would. Poor Nottingham Criminal Cartel. Except they're not poor, are they? Because they rob the Nottingham men, women and children every single day, every time they can, every way they can. It's now something like £2.20 to just get a one-way ticket of a bus into town. That's it. £2.20. That's ridiculous. Absolutely, utterly ridiculous. But, yeah, they're the local authority, except they've got no authority over anyone, and they need destroying. There should be no councils anywhere in this country, because all councils are corrupt and full, absolutely full to the brim of paedophiles. Now, we're going to move on to another subject close to my heart. The solicitor who charged the NHS £400 an hour as he sued them for compensation. Andrew Good, who obviously is anything but good, has been fined £30,000 after his charges to the NHS were described as beyond obscene. And the picture of the bloke, so that you all know what he looks like, you all know what this scumbag piece of shit. Of course, he's a solicitor, so he is going to be a piece of shit, because they're all in it. And look, the big smile. Yes, I ripped the NHS off of £400 an hour. Ha 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 ha. He needs striking off. And, it's my favourite term, going to prison. This is the lawyer who billed the NHS £400 an hour for the medical negligence claims he was pursuing. Andrew Good's bill were described as beyond obscene. He's a solicitor. They're all beyond obscene. By the government lawyer who represent the NHS in compensation claims. Mr. Good, who also ran a firm of solicitors based in Grimsby, has now been fined £30,000 after it was ruled his charges were excessive. Prison is the only thing these sort of scumbags will understand, and once he's spent a year in prison, he'll be a changed man for the better. I'm not going to read the rest of it because it'll just wind me up. I will read this little bit though. At a tribunal into Mr. Good's conduct, a total of 151 cases were examined in which rapid had tried to claim back 6.5 million in costs. This utter criminal, he's a solicitor, so he's going to be a criminal, should be in prison, behind bars, locked up and screwed to death. But that's just my opinion. For all those that doubt chemtrailing is real, here we go. China planning largest chemtrail experiment in history. But wait, Mark, chemtrails aren't real. Okay then what's going on here? China is planning to conduct the largest chemtrail experiment in history, modifying the weather in an area 3 times larger than Spain. Chinese authorities are preparing to induce rainfall over 1.6 million square kilometres, 620 square miles, in an ambitious geoengineering experiment. Science Alert reports the plan, which is an extension of a project called Tenay, or Sky River, developed by research in 2016 at China's Tsinghua University, is hoped to bring extra rain to a massive area spanning over 1.6 million square kilometres. It's trying to bring it back to life, but what this does now, it puts an end to the chemtrails aren't real. Oh, that plane's higher than that plane. There's a video I put out recently where you saw 2 planes fly, one with a chemtrail and one with a contrail. Oh, that plane's higher, that's why that's... yeah, utter bullshit. There you have it in black and white. Chemtrails are real, and they're being used in this country to poison us and our food. Now, is this Britain's worst school dinner? Horrified mother shares snap of disgraceful prison food served to primary school children for lunch. I've got to disagree with that part. I don't think it's anywhere near as good as prison food. The shocking school dinner served to pupils at St Pius Primary in Dundee. The image shows 2 barely cooked sausages sat next to 2 boiled potatoes. A Dundee City councillor, see, here's the councils again, has been shown the image and action is being taken. Yeah, we're telling them off for letting anyone take photos of the shit we serve. All councils need to go. Social media users were quick to condemn the unappetising school dinner. Have you had a worse school dinner? Email blah 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 blah. And just so you can see exactly what it looks like, there you go. Utter shit. But then again, the councils think we are utter shit and they can do what they like with us, do what they want to, because they've been doing it for so long and getting away with it. Time to end all councils and Parliament and lock the bastards up in Parliament, especially those that's ever served on any cabinet. Oh, and while we're at it, those that's done it in the past as well. Oh, and all the royals as well, they all need locking up. The perverted, scum-sucking, satanic paedophiles. Star. Mum, I had George Michael's love child. I find that difficult because he preferred men. But you never know, he might have just, I don't know, been high or something one night, or well, yeah, or he thought she turned over and she hadn't. Maybe, who knows? I actually quite like George Michael. Shame he's dead. I don't know, yeah, he was gay, but there's no particularly wrong with that. I know he was anti-Israel and pro-Palestine. You got to like him for that in its by itself. Prison guards inside story exposed. Cop killers cushy life behind bars. Why is that a front page headline? There's no one naked on the Star as well. Maybe things are changing. The Observer. Life after solitary. WikiLeaks whistleblower Chelsea Manning talks to Carol Cadwalder. Yoko Ono on John Lennon and Imagine. May bids for centre ground with appeal to Labour voters. We're open. We're only option for moderates, says PM. Premier laying trap for Corbyn. Blunkett. Labour voters should look again at my Tory party. Here for the many. May says she offers a better future. Yes, a future of a dictatorship where you're not allowed to do anything, and we want you in a house as small as this room. That's what they want. And if you allow them to do it, more fool us. Don't ever forget, she's a Satanist. She's committed treason multiple times. But then again, it doesn't matter who gets in, because they're all having a party and we're paying for it. Them to have a party, can you see how wrong that is? UK's musical stars rail against botched Brexit. British music will be silenced in a self-built cultural jail. Fears grow for the creative industries. We've had no good music for 20 years. Tell lie, Graph. Brexiteers offer olive branch over ports. Milena the model tourist. Over on the right there. Cannabis oil available on prescription within a month. But it's got no medical benefits. May said that only last month. Another reason the treasonous cow wants locking up. Kavanaugh is voted on to US Supreme Court. And time for a little bit of bullshit. Russian hackers targeted Cancer Research UK. Well, if anyone wanted targeting, it is Cancer Research UK. CRUK. Crook. Because they are crooks. They know there are cures for cancer. As we've seen just at the top there. Cannabis oil to be available. So they're going to be out of a frigging job. And the chief executive might have to sell one of his Mercedes or his BMWs or his Ferraris or whatever shitty car he's got. Except, of course, not shitty. Extremely expensive cars. Because they profit from cancer. And if Russian hackers have been hacking them, it'd be good. But I think that's sort of bullshit. The fail. How to eat to beat arthritis. Our superb new health section. Now, someone I know from up, from Nottingham. They've been treating someone with cancer with cannabis oil, and she's an old woman, and she had cancer, and she also had arthritis. After taking the cannabis oil, it cured her cancer and it cured her arthritis. Where she used to hobble upstairs, she virtually runs up and down the stairs now. So there's another cure for arthritis. Another benefit of cannabis oil. Of course, according to Treason May, it has no medical benefits. Treason May, you're a lying, sadist, satanic, evil bitch. And I'm going to dance when, in fact, I'll do a jig when you're in prison. Tina Turner, Ike made me go to a brothel on our wedding night. I got a feeling you probably should have sussed from that point on. Things were only going to get worse. It's just my guess, like, you know. Astonishing policy to lure back troops who've been kicked out for using cocaine and cannabis. Army office offers £10,000 golden hello to drug shame soldiers. You see, they're desperate to get troops back because they're leaving in massive amounts because they can see the corruption. Yes, in the army as well, because they work for the government. Govern to control. Ment from mentalis, the mind. Mind controllers or control the mind. That's what government means. We need an end to government. It needs to go, along with the, you know, the rest, the royals, the crooked judges, the councils, the Freemason police, anyone that's a Freemason in any job of any power needs to be sacked immediately, and we'll have a frigging well better country than we've got now. Parasite alert. Eugene's big day diet secret. God, she's a not very pretty looking, but then again she's from the scum, so what do you expect? Have you looked in the mirror? Michael Bublé. I thought I'd never make music again. Hey Michael, you don't, you can't, you shit at it. No, he's not really, he's not bad, some of his stuff, but yeah. Exclusive, Strictly Gemma could be quizzed on run rate case. I think that's made up, by the way, the rape allegation against Ronaldo. If it isn't, then he needs to get to prison. Jail. Because prison is where, when you're on a ship and you commit something wrong, you go to prison on a ship. Whereas jail is what it's really called. Jail's on land. Yeah, it's about the... We're all on the seas of commerce, we're under Admiralty law, all that sort of bullshit. Couples plead to judge. Please jail our son, 14. Parents reveal heartbreaking decision over tearaway teen. I disagree. I'll tell you who needs jailing. The parents. I've had 5 kids and none of them have been tearaways or anything like that. They all respect everyone and everything that deserves respect and are good men and women. So the reason their sons are tearaways is because they haven't parented him correctly. People. Vicky's a dancing queen. Don't know who she is. Emmerdale Leah. I use cannabis to fight cancer. But Leah, you can't do, because Theresa May says it has no medical benefits, even though her husband owns a massive, something like 40-acre farm growing it, but it has no medical benefits. Oh, but Leah seems to think it does. Oh, and I know that it does. Does that mean that Theresa May's a lying, satanic, sadistic bitch? Yes, it does. My Lee killer. I miss my kids. Vile wine of monster who murdered daughter 8. He shouldn't be behind bars. Unless he's got a reason, which there is not one reason for murdering a little girl. He should be executed. Execution should be brought back for that type of crime and treason. Although, as we, the men, women of this country, if we decide that treason may needs hanging, then we can have that. We can organise it. Doesn't matter. We can make the laws ourselves. We don't, because there's no law from Parliament. It's all statutes and acts, which are not law. They're given consent of law. They're given the power of law by the consent of those idiots on the voters' register. But once we get rid of Parliament, we can decide if he and Theresa May should be hung. And I think there will be a resounding yes. And every other piece of shit in Parliament that's ever voted and harmed anyone in this country by their vote, i.e. cutting benefits or cutting whatever, hanging is the best punishment for every single one of them bastards. Speaking of bastards, the Express. Royal picture exclusive. Fergie and Andrew closer than ever as they bond over daughter's wedding. You can see where she gets the looks from, can't you? Ugh, horrible, horrible creatures. He definitely needs hanging. He's a paedophile, full-on paedophile. And yes, it is outrageous. And on a separate subject, outrageous. Albanian convicted of murder commits serious crimes in UK, yet he's still free and allowed to roam the streets on bail. And do you know why that is? Because they want chaos. Always recall, their plan is to bring a new world order out of the chaos they have caused. And I think we can all agree they've caused a hell of a lot of chaos. Oh, and all of them, every single one of them. Only if you agree, like, you know, it's not something that I personally want. I actually believe that they should be made to stay on this planet and suffer for the rest of their lives. And we can extend their lives so they suffer even more. But if you want them hung, hey, I'm not going to go against you lot, because you've got the power, not these bastards. Anything but independent. Even with no deal, May will survive. You're a dickhead. Teach black history in its proper glory. Well, only if they want to know it. Quotas aren't the answer to inequality. Why I did want to paint the Queen. Supreme divide over Kavanagh result. I wonder who's paid this lot to go and protest about something they know nothing about. Keep full access to single market, voters tell May. Majority reject Canada-style deal demanded by Brexiteers. Well, hold it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Have you been asked about this? No? Oh, you mean they're just making shit up and expect you to believe it? And sadly, many will. The Sunday Times. Death at Pret. After Natasha, another victim. UK war games, cyber attack on Moscow. Troops trained clashes against the Russians. What the f... Right. Here's Russia. You see this little dot just above my finger? No, because, well, that's the UK. Apparently we're trying to pick a war with Russia. Well, we're not. Those traitors in Parliament are. And that's what we need to get rid of. Rita pipes up before pop. Don't know who she is. Brexiteers threaten to sabotage the budget. The budget is treason as well. Every time there's a budget, what happens? Oh, we're giving you £5. Oh, but we're taking £10 off you here and £5 off you there. The budget, simple way to rob the poor, whilst making the rich richer. Wow, that's shocking. Except it's real and true. Pret a Manga's second sandwich tragedy. They could be going out of business at that rate. I know I won't be eating it, that's for sure. Trump judge victory. Well, quite a bit in the papers. Nothing of real interest apart from the stuff that I've talked about, and the early stuff that I talked about, which really tells you how it is. Oh, and Nottingham criminal cartel. Dennis Healy. World events do not occur by accident. They are made to happen, whether it is to do with national issues or commerce, and most of them are staged and managed by those who hold the purse strings.